It's been a while, huh? Showtime? Oh boy. Yeah, it's been a while. And when you don't see me, guess what I'm doing? Doing a deep dive researching. And I've been given, I'm going to be the one to come out and do it and say it with a little backbone behind it and stand on something because, like I've stated in the past, when I was young, I was in the Moore Science Temple of America. My antennas stood up and I moved on and continued with my search for knowledge when I questioned my grandmothers and great grandmothers about who we were. Never one time did they mention being a Moor, and they were alive during Timothy Drew's life. Thomas Drew, should I say, born in Virginia, not North Carolina. Prince Adept, teacher of Arabian mysticism in Newark, New Jersey, 181 Warren Street, but you'll catch all of that a little later on in the video. My point here is to state, and I was part of the Moore Science Temple at one point in my life because I was seeking for truth. But here it comes to find out, after my deep dive and research, that it's a complete and utter fraud. Not to say what Thomas Drew did wasn't a good thing for people who were, going through Jim Crow, Reconstruction, so on and so forth, to have some nobility about themselves and to have something proud about themselves to build upon. But as I stated before, when I do the deep dive and the research, it's a complete fraud. There's no 50,000-year-old flag that has anything to do with the MSTA that was created in America. The way it looks is this cat even worked with a traveling circus at one point in time. You know what I'm saying? He worked down at the boat docks with a whole bunch of different nationalities and people, and you know what I'm saying, gained some knowledge. Oh, also, did you know Elijah Muhammad was previously Elijah Poole Bay? Where'd you think he came? You know, Master Farad Muhammad? He learned that stuff from Thomas Drew. Oh, yeah. Not the old Turkish-looking white guy called Master Farad Muhammad. But I'm not going to hold you. You can go and do your research, and I might lose some associates or whatever. Just remember this. There's no bunk beds and caskets. Born alone, die alone. Look in the mirror and see the God in you and build upon that. Stop following and looking for a savior. Because I'm almost checked out. I ain't putting out too much more information no more. I don't need to save myself and my son and my children. That's the only thing I'm responsible for saving if I can do that. Because their spirit agreement, they came here and chose me to be one of their guides. So if you want to get real deep, but all I want to say is peace and prosperity to all of humanity. Peace to all of the copper-colored aboriginals all across the plane of existence. And know that you are part of the original spark, son and daughters of God. Stop looking for somebody to save you, lead you, and teach you. It's all a fraud, man. So, shoot your darts and say what you will, but know what you're standing on. All of these sheikhs and shamans and supposed knowledgeable, and they always refer back to Noble Drew Ali. Well, he's a fucking fraud. If you do the true research, and if you stand on that, then you a cornball fraud nigga too. Peace.
We're going to go into Thomas Drew, a.k.a. Timothy. So again, he was born in Norfolk, Virginia, January of 1886. What do we have here? We have a 1900 census. In 1900, Thomas Drew was about 14. Birthplace, Virginia. Relationship to head, adopted son. Who's in the household? We have James Drew, Lucy Drew, Thomas Drew. Going into the census, you guys can see James Drew, Lucy, and we got Thomas right here, and it does say adopted son. Birthplace, Virginia. Parents, Virginia, Virginia. Nothing about North Carolina. We continue, we got a census from 1920. The 1921 is saying he's around 34 years old. He's living in Newark, New Jersey now, right? He's a boarder living under somebody. Louis Gaines says, might be paying rent to her. He's single. And occupation is preacher. So just to go into the census, all right, so you guys can see Louis Gaines, we got Thomas Drew. And once you see this, you can't deny that this Thomas Drew is Noble Drew Ali. Why is that? We go to the part where it says occupation and it says preacher in public streets. Remember, he even said that, and we already know he was a preacher in public streets. This is in 1920, before he had gone to Chicago to establish his Moorish Science Temple of America. What are the coincidences that this Thomas Drew happens to have the same exact birthday as Noble Drew Ali and is also a preacher in public streets? So I hope you guys do not keep practicing cognitive dissonance. This is the real Noble Drew Ali. He is from Virginia. Another census letting you know Virginia, and this is all the way in New Jersey, so why would they put Virginia specifically? They had to have known. He might have told them. Somebody informed the census taker, but they put Virginia, just like the 1900 census says he was born in Virginia. So another thing I want to show you guys is his World War I draft registration card, which we talked about already. You guys can see it's Thomas Drew. Under address it says 181 Warren Street, right? Birth date January 8th, 1886. Thomas Drew, 181 Warren Street. 181 Warren Street. And just so we can confirm again that it's Noble Drew Ali, let's go look at Noble Drew Ali's Egyptian student added ID card. Again, Professor Drew, the Egyptian added student. Noble Drew Ali, right? Look at the address, 181 Warren Street, Newark, New Jersey. 181 Warren Street, Newark, New Jersey. Let's go back to Thomas Drew. Back at the military registration card, Thomas Drew. Again, 181 Warren Street, same person. So again, we go back to the 1920 federal census. Thomas Drew from Virginia, not North Carolina, is living in where? Warren Street. Warren Street, just like Professor Drew, the Egyptian added, living in 181 Warren Street. It's the same person. Do you see? Do you clearly see? Do you clearly? Do you clearly see? So real quick, we go to this reading right here from JSTOR. It's the Handbook of Islamic Sects and Movements. We're in chapter 29, the Moorish Science Temple of America. This is by Fatih Ali Abdad, pages 673 to 693. And we're getting into the introduction of the article. Most literature on the founding prophet of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Noble Drew Ali, has either treated his murky origins cursorily or hagiographically, exaggerated and romanticized his roots. All right, exaggerated earthquakes, eclipse, virgin births. Yeah, they even said that. Recent fortuitous discoveries of Drew's pre-Moorish documents have enabled historians to reconstruct a more empirical count of the Moorish prophet, while tampering with Drew's legacy could open a Pandora's box with unforeseen circumstances that would bring no discernible benefit to contemporary Moorish American sheiks. The MSTA laity deserves knowledge of its genuine historical past, unencumbered from crudely constructed myths. All right, you guys really want to know the truth. Newly unearthed census and city records disclose that dogmatic MSTA narrations on Drew's genealogical roots were specious. Drew Ali was born Thomas Drew, all right? That's his real name. Another person letting you know, on January 8th, 1886 in Norfolk, Virginia, not North Carolina. By 1898, he was adopted by James Washington Drew and Lucy Drew, all right? Not John Washington Drew. There is no John Washington Drew. I see a lot of people trying to add John Thompson Drew, a Cherokee chief, which was born in the 1700s, so he couldn't be his dad, as the same person as James Washington Drew, which we just saw was his adoptive dad, and Lucy Drew, his adoptive mom. And I'm still not sure if they're his blood relatives or if this is the evil aunt. He might not even be a Drew, guys. He literally might be adopted by these people and they might have given him the surname. An African American couple resided in 411 Princess Anne Avenue, Norfolk, Virginia. And that was on the 1900 census we saw. As a teenager, the illiterate Drew worked as a common laborer, rural farmhand, and wharf longshoreman in the southern port city to supplement his adopted parents' wages. However, like many black Norfolk laborers, the Drews were paid little and could not catapult themselves into the black Borgias class. As such, Drew explored new prospects in other cities, plying his trade first as a porter in Richmond, Virginia in 1916, and then as a shipyard laborer for the submarine boat corporations in Newark, New Jersey, answering America's call in the industrial war effort. On September 12, 1918, Drew reported to a public school in Bruce Street, Newark, New Jersey, for the third draft registration as part of the volunteer conscripted American Army in the Great War. A routine medical examination revealed badly burned forearm muscles. United States World War I draft registration card. All right, that's the one we had and we just saw. And Drew subsequently failed the criteria for induction. After World War I, the company folded, leaving Drew unemployed. In large part between 1916 and 1923, Drew resided in 181 Warren Street, again, 181 Warren Street, Newark, New Jersey, together with Louisa Gaines, a married Virginian, in a mixed neighborhood. Drew alternated between working in a barbershop and as street preacher. For the latter, Drew attired himself in a loosely fitted multicolored gown, covered his head with a brilliant purple hood, and cosmetically redesigned himself as Professor Thomas Drew, the Egyptian adept student, an East Indian from Virginia who ate nails and cured blind soldiers. His vast clientele sought him for a wide range of services, including crystal gazing, all right, like a magician, advice on love affairs, and Eastern wisdom, such as the forgotten 18 years of Jesus Christ life, all right, just like we went over on my last video. More than half of the Circle 7 Quran is the writings of Levi Dowling's Aquarian Gospels of Jesus. More than half of the Circle 7 Quran is the writings of Levi Dowling's Aquarian Gospels of Jesus. More than half of the Circle 7 Quran is the writings of Levi Dowling's Aquarian Gospels of Jesus. More than half of the Circle 7 Quran is the writings of Levi Dowling's Aquarian Gospels of Jesus.
Why are black Americans so violent with each other?
Because they scared to attack white people. It's fucking truth. I don't care what nobody say. I don't know one black nigga that ever went to a white neighborhood and banged on them. Even when they get into trouble with white people on the street, they don't go full force. You'll catch some of them that'll probably go full force. Other than that, they gonna back down. No, I ain't gonna hit you. All you gonna do is call the police. Whip his ass. If that's what you want to do, I'm not advocating violence. Black people is not gonna attack white people because we wasn't raised to do it. We wasn't taught to do it. See, everybody else was taught to hate us, taught to kill us, taught that we was ignorant, taught that, oh no, they drug dealers. They'll never have this, they'll never have, they was taught that shit.
Right.
Our moms never sat inside the living room and told us, when you see that white motherfucker, disrespect him. Or don't stand next to him.